a particular period of time. So at different prices, whatever the quantity that sellers are willing to sell at a particular point of time, that is called supply. And supply can be broadly categorized into two parts: individual supply and the market supply. So if you talk about only one seller, from the perspective of the one seller, then whatever the quantity that one seller is willing to sell in the market at different prices, that is called individual supply. And quantity that all the sellers collectively willing to sell at different prices, that is called market supply. All right. So we have also covered the definition, the meaning of the market and the individual supply theoretically. And supply schedule is what? Supply schedule is basically a tabular representation of the quantity of commodity that sellers want to sell. And if you want to represent the quantity supplied by only one seller at different prices, that is called individual schedule. And if you want to represent the quantities that two or more suppliers are collectively wants to sell in the market, that is called market supply schedule. Okay, after this we have started this topic, factors affecting supply, individual supply. And in this topic, we have understood the what are the various what could be the possible reasons or the factors that can affect the overall supply of the commodity by a firm or a seller. And usually these are the most important factor, like price of the commodity. Then we have the price of the related good. Then cost of production or the price of the factors of production. Then the state of technology also affect the supply of the commodity. Then government policies can also be one of the factor. And goals and objective of the firm, number of firms operating in the market, expectation of the sellers regarding the prices prevailing in the market, then transportation and communication facilities that are available in the market. All of these collectively affect the demand of the, all of these collectively affect the supply of the commodity in the market. So we have covered all of these things in the last session. So if you have any doubt, just let me know. Otherwise, we will proceed further
No,
with the
sir.
chapter. No doubt. Okay. So let's continue with the next topic. So today we will discuss law of supply. So anyone having any idea what is law of supply? It is just like the law of demand. So if anyone can tell me, Hamad, do you have any idea what is law of supply? Samisha, can you tell me what is law of supply? Samisha?
Sir, no, sir. I don't know.
Okay, no problem. See, law of supply, Samisha, law of supply basically states that states the relationship between the price and supply of the commodity.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute, let me explain this. So law of supply basically states the relationship. It states the relationship between price of commodity and the quantity supplied in the market. So law of supply basically states the relationship between the price and quantity supply in market by a seller. And usually a law of supply states that there exists positive relationship between price and supply of the commodity or quantity supplied in the market. So there exists positive relationship. That means when you increase the price of the commodity, if price of the commodity increases, this will lead to the increase in overall supply, or this will lead to the increase in overall quantity supply by the seller as well. So increase in price leads to the increase in supply in the market. On the other hand, decrease in price will lead to the decrease in supply of the commodity. So therefore we say that there exists positive relationship between the price and supply of the commodity. Let's take an example to understand this. Suppose we have a price of the commodity and this is quantity of the commodity that seller wants to sell. So okay, let's say price of the commodity let's say price of the commodity is 20 rupees per unit, and at rupees 20, seller is currently willing to sell 500 units of the commodity at rupees 20. Now tell me, if when price of the commodity will increase in future, let's say price of the commodity, so let's say price of the commodity goes to 30 rupees per unit. Tell me, what will the supplier do now? When prices increase, when price of the commodity will increase, the supplier will be willing to supply more of the quantity, more units of the commodity, or he will be willing to less, he will be willing to supply less quantity of the commodity. Tell me.
More.
More. So at rupees 20, let's suppose if he's willing to sell, if he's willing to supply 500 units of the commodity, then at rupees 30, he will be willing to supply more quantity. Let's say 900 units, he will be willing to supply at rupees 30. So this proves that when price increases, the supply also increases. Similarly, when there will be decrease in the price of the commodity. Let's say tomorrow the price goes down to rupees, let's say 15 rupees per unit, then definitely the seller will be willing to supply less quantity of the commodity. So the overall supply will reduce to 300 units. So these are all the hypothetical values. So I'm considering the at rupees 20, the supply will be 500, and when price increases, supply will go to 900, and when price reduces to 15, the supply will decline to 300 units. So
Yes, sir.
this is what the law of supply is. Law of supply basically states that as the price increases, supply will also increase, and when the price decreases, supply will also decrease. So in simple term, you can say that law of supply states the relationship between the price and quantity of the commodity. All right. And one more thing, uh, law of supply also requires the other factors to be constant, all other factors to be kept constant. So while discussing the law of supply, see, in the last class, I have explained that there can be numerous reasons due to which supply may change. Supply may change due to the price of the commodity. Supply may change due to the price of the related commodity. Supply may change due to the government policy, cost of production, number of firms operating in the market, and other factors as well. But while discussing the law of supply, we only establishes the relationship between the quantity and price of the commodity, supply and price only. So at the time of discussing the law of supply, we have a assumption. We assume that all the factors other than price remains constant. That means price of the related goods will remain same. We will presume that there is no change in the price of the related good. The government policy will remain same. There will be no change in the government policy as well. There will be no change in the goals and objective of the firm. There will be no change in the cost of production and other factors that can also affect the supply of the commodity. We have presumed that all of these factors remains constant while we discuss the law of supply. So just keep this in mind that law of supply, because law of supply will only establish the relationship between the price of the commodity and the quantity supply of the commodity. Therefore, we have to keep other factors constant. All right. So in simple terms, we can say law of supply states the positive relationship between the price and supply of the commodity. This is it. Is this clear, Samiksha and everyone else?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is law of supply? Law of supply states that there is direct relationship, positive relationship between the price of the commodity and its quantity supplied, keeping other factors constant. So for keeping other factors constant, we uses a term which is called ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus basically means keeping other factor constant. So while we discuss the law of supply, we keep the other factor constant, that is ceteris paribus. All right, is this clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the question arises, why law of supply operates? Why law of supply operates, or you can say why due to increase in price of the commodity, suppliers tends to sell more quantity of the commodity. Why with the increase in price supply increases, and why with the decrease in price supply decreases, this is called reasons of law of supply. Reasons of law of supply. It means why when price of the commodity increases, supply of the commodity also increases, and why when price of the commodity declines, supply of the commodity also decline. So there can be numerous reasons, but from our syllabus point of view, we have discussed only three reasons. So one of the reasons of operating of the operation of law of supply is that is the profit motive of the seller. Profit motive of seller. Okay, now what is this? Actually, it is presumed that when price of the commodity increases, the profit margin of the seller also increases. Let's say the price was rupees 20. All right, and at rupees 20, the seller was selling 1000 units of a particular commodity. Now, when price of the commodity will increase, let's say price of the commodity goes to 35, increases to 35. So all of you knows that when price of the commodity increase, the overall supply will also increase. So overall supply will be now, let's say it will be 4000 units, for example. All right, the question is that why due to increase in price, overall supply is increasing? And answer is very simple. See, when price increases, when price increases, the profit margin of the seller also increases. Profit margin also, because we have assumed that cost of production will remain constant, right? When price is increasing, cost of production will remain constant, and this simply means when price increases, the profit margin of the seller will definitely increase. And tell me, every seller operate with a view, with a motive of profit, right? Every seller wants to maximize the profit, yes or no? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. And since because there is increase in the price of the commodity, so there is a greater prospect, there is a possibility that for seller or the firm will be able to generate more profit at a increased price. Therefore, in order to generate maximum profit, in order to realize profit, the seller chooses to sell more quantity of the commodity. So eventually, when price increases, due to the increase in price, the profit margin of the seller increases. Therefore, he chooses to sell more quantity of the commodity. And now, because increase in price leads to the increase in supply, this simply means the law of supply is operating. Law of supply is operating. The point is why law of supply is operating, because due to increase in price, supply is selling more quantity, because at the increased price, seller will have the more profit margin. And in order to achieve the maximum profit or the higher profit, seller have decided to sell more quantity. And vice versa, if there is reduction in the price of the commodity, let's say price of the commodity goes down to, let's say, 10 rupees. So at the reduced price, the seller will now have the, if the prices decreases, the seller will have lower profit margin, right? And because he is going to have less profit this time, so he will be he will be willing to sell less quantity of the commodity. And again, because of the decrease in price, overall quantity supply will decrease in the market, hence law of supply is operating. And why it is operating? Because seller is operating with a profit motive. So one of the reason of operation of law of supply is that seller is of profit motive, because seller wants to maximize profit. Hence, when price increases, the possibility of earning higher profit is more. Therefore, the overall supply increases, and vice versa. So this is one of the reason why law of supply operate. Tell me, everyone, is this clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there is one more reason, that is change in the number of firms operating in the market. Let me explain this as well. change in number of firms operating in market. This can also be one of the reason why law of supply operate. Suppose let's say this is a market area, and in this market only right now, let's say only 3 sellers operate in the market, right? And let's say they are selling, for example, they are selling onions. Okay, and the current price of the onions is rupees 50 per kg. All right, so at rupees 50 per kg, let's say all the sellers are generating a profit of rupees 10 rupees per kg. All of the sellers are generating 10 rupees as a profit margin on sale of the onions. Now, and one more thing, at rupees 50, let's say all of them are collectively, all the sellers collectively supplying, let's say 5,000 kilograms of onions, 5,000 kg of onions. So at rupees 50, the quantity supplied in the market is 5,000. Now what happens? The price of the onions increases. It goes to, let's say it goes to 70. All right. So as the price increases, the profit margin of the seller will also increase. Profit will now the sellers will be able to, let's say, generate 30 rupees per kg as a profit, right? So obviously these seller will be willing to sell more quantity because they are going to have more amount of profit at the increased price. But this will also encourage the other sellers to enter the market. The other sellers who are earlier not selling onions, because of realizing that by selling onions they can have higher profit, these seller will also come into the market, right? And because the number of firms or the number of sellers operating in the market will increase because of the entry of the new sellers into the market, overall supplier will increase. So if there is increase in the overall supply or the firms in the market, tell me now will there be increase in the quantity supplied as well or not? Tell me, Samiksha or anyone else. As the number of firms operating in the market increases, because by selling onions more profit can be earned, so by looking at the profit margins, more firms entered into the market. Tell me, by when more firms enter into the market, the overall supply will increase, yes or no?
Yes, sir, it will increase.
It will increase. Let's say the collectively all the sellers are now selling for example 15,000 kilogram of onions. So this means that at rupees 50 the supply was 5,000 only. And when price increases, law of supply says when price will increase, the supply will also increase. That is what is happening in the in our example as well. But why it is happening? It is happening because of the increase in price. Because of the increase in price, more suppliers enters the market. Why more suppliers are entering into market? Because at the increased price, firms are basically expecting to earn more profit. Therefore, the overall suppliers in the market increases, hence it leads to the increase in the overall supply as well. So this is the second reason why law of supply operate. This is the reason for the law of supply. Is this clear, Peer and everyone else?
Yes, sir.
Peer, is this clear to you as well? Peer, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, now there is one more reason to the law of supply, that is change in stock. Change in overall stock. Change in overall stock maintained by the seller. Okay, now understand this. Let's say this is a seller. Okay, and seller sells in the market, and whatever he sells in the market, he keeps the stock of those goods in the go down as well, right? So let's suppose he have maintained a stock of let's say 50,000 units of a particular commodity. Okay, right now price of the commodity was only 10 rupees. Therefore he have decided to release 10,000 out of the overall stock maintained by him. So out of 50,000 unit, he have decided to sell only 10,000 unit at rupees 10. So the current supply in the market at rupees 10, the current supply in the market is 10,000 units. Right now, the overall stock is 50,000, and because price prevailing in the market is rupees 10, therefore he have decided to release 10,000 stock from the go down and sell it in the market. Now after selling 10,000, the remaining stock will be how much? It will be only 40,000. Yes or no? It will be 40,000 unit. Now tell me, when price will increase, let's say price increases to 25, right? So tell me whether he will be willing to sell more quantity in the market or less. At rupees 25, whether he will be willing to sell more quantity or less quantity.
More quantity.
More quantity, and the more quantity will come from the stock that he have already maintained. So out of 40,000, he will be willing to release more stock in the market now, because price in the
Yes.
market increased. So he have decided, let's say he have decided to release 30,000 stock in the market. So the remaining stock will only be 10,000. He have decided to sell 30,000. So the overall supply in the market will be 40,000, earlier 10,000. Now he have decided to sell 30 extra. So the overall quantity supply in the market will be 40. So this proves that when price increases from 10 to 25, the overall supply also increases. That is what law of supply says. This is what law of supply says, that when price will increase, that supply will also increase. Now the question arises, why law of supply is operating? Law of supply is operating because of the change in the overall stock. When price goes on increasing, the stock maintained by the seller goes on declining. And as the stock declines, the the quantity from the stock goes in the market, and the overall supply in the market will increase. Getting my point? So as the price increases, quantity in the stock also declines. Quantity in the stock declines, and whatever there is whatever the decline in the stock, the decline goes into the market for sale. So basically, when price increases, the overall quantity of stock declines, leading to the increase in supply of the commodity. Let me show this. Let's say prices are increasing. When prices will increase, the stock that seller is maintaining will decrease. Obviously, when there is increase in the price, seller will be ready to clear more stock out of the go down, and will be willing to sell more quantity in the market. Therefore, the when price increases, the overall stock decreases. And on the other hand, if the price of the commodity decreases, he will be willing to maintain large amount of stock in the go down only. So the overall stock increases, and increase in stock basically means that supply is not willing to sell in the market. Therefore, stock is increasing. No, when supply will be selling in the market, the stock will decrease, right? So when price increases, seller is willing to supply more quantity, leading to the less quantity in the stock. On the other hand, when price decreases, the overall inventory in the stock increases, leading to the less quantity supply in the market. So these are the three factors, these are the three reasons due to which law of supply operate. Tell me, Samiksha, Peer, and everyone else, is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the three reasons. All right. So first, profit motive of the seller. Second was change in the number of firms. Third was change in the stock maintained by the seller. So these are the only three reasons why law of supply operate. Now we will discuss the exceptions of law of supply. Exceptions of law of supply basically means situations wherein the law of supply does not operate. See, generally what happens when price of the commodity increases, supply of the commodity also increases. But as the price increases, supplier will be willing to sell more quantity in the market. Therefore, supply will also increase. This is what law of supply says. Now, what is exception? Exception refers to those situations in which this does not happen. This does not happen basically means when there is increase in price, supply does not increase, or when there is increase in price, instead of increase in supply, the overall supply decreases. Getting my point? So whenever, let me just explain this on the note as well. Okay. So we are actually discussing exceptions of law of supply. So you will have to first understand what is actually exception mean. Exceptions of law of supply basically means situations wherein law of supply does not operate. Does not operate means when there is increase in price of the commodity, law of supply says quantity of the commodity should also increase. But by chance, due to increase in price, commodity is not increasing. It is not, supply of the commodity is not increasing. Or by chance, instead of increase in the supply, the overall quantity supply decreases. This may also happen. Or the overall supply remains constant only. So that means law of supply is not applicable. According to law of supply, price will increase, the quantity will also increase. But if due to price increase in price, the quantity do not increases, or it does not decrease, or it remains constant, that means law of supply is failing. So in this topic, we will be discussing all those situations in which law of supply might fail. All those situations wherein the increase in price might not lead to the increase in supply, or vice versa. When, see, law of supply also says that when there will be decrease in price, the supply will also decrease. But if this is not happening, then we will call it a exception of law of supply. So let's discuss the exceptions one by one. So the first exception of law of supply is perishable goods. So anyone having any idea what is perishable good? Peer, Samiksha, or anyone else? Hamad, what do you know about perishable goods? Tell me, what is perishable goods? Anyone? Samiksha, any idea what is perishable goods?
So that goods that can be easily destroyed.
Yes. So perishable goods are those goods which have low low shelf life, or which have a low how can I explain this? Which have a
Lifetime.
shorter period of, which have shorter lifetime, short period of time, within which it cannot be, after which it cannot be used. So perishable goods, in case of perishable good, law of supply does not hold true. That means generally in case of perishable good, items such as vegetables and fruits are under this category, and also a few dairy products are also under this category. Dairy products. So all of these are considered as the perishable. There can be other items as well, but for now, just take vegetable, fruits, and dairy products as the perishable goods. So these products have low shelf life. Okay, low shelf life, that are actually destroyed within shorter period of time. All right. So as you already know, vegetable and fruits are of perishable nature, right? So vegetable and fruits are generally have low shelf life. That means the life of the vegetable and fruit are generally 2 to 3 days or 5 days max. All right. So therefore it is perishable goods. Now you will notice in case of perishable good, let's suppose if there is a seller selling mango. All right. So mango is a fruit and it is also perishable in nature. So let's say currently he's selling mangoes at rupees 50 per kg, and okay, at rupees 50 he's willing to sell only 1 kg, right? And when price increase, he will be willing to sell more quantity of the commodity. Okay. Now what happens sometimes when you go in the market for buying fruits in morning, most of the time the seller will be selling you at a higher price, and he won't be in a mood to bargain. So if you will ask the mango seller that please sell the mango at rupees 40 only, so there is a possibility that he might deny, he might not sell the mangoes at rupees 40. All right. But now when you visit the same seller at evening, and because the mango are of perishable nature, now the seller is of opinion that the mango will be destroyed by tomorrow. These cannot the mango won't be able to fetch the same price at tomorrow. So therefore you might notice that the seller will be willing to sell same quantity of commodity 1 kg at a lesser price. Now he is selling mango at rupees 30 per kg. Getting my point? Even see what is law of supply? Law of supply basically says that when price of the commodity will increase, only then supply will increase. And if the price decreases, the law of supply will according to law of supply, the quantity supply will also decrease. That is what law of supply says. When price decreases, law of supply says supply will decrease, and when price increases, only then supply will be increase. But here you can see at rupees 50 seller was earlier selling 1 kg, and now at rupees 30 still he's ready to sell 1 kg, because you can say he is now fearful that the mango will be destroyed by tomorrow, and the seeming he won't be able to sell the mango tomorrow to the customer won't be buying the mango tomorrow. So therefore he is willing to sell the mango at a lesser price, and but the same quantity. Getting my point? So this is the one of the example wherein the law of supply is will fail. So in case of perishable goods, law of supply is not applicable. Tell me, Samiksha and everyone else, is this clear, all of you? Peer, is this clear? Hamad, is it clear? Samiksha, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in case of perishable goods, why law of supply does not operate? Because if perishable goods hold for more period, then the perishable goods will perish, and the seller won't be able to sell and fetch the same price for the commodity. Therefore at the lesser price he will be willing to sell same quantity, or in fact sometime more quantity at the lesser price, at the lower price. All right. So in case of perishable goods, law of supply does not operate. Also, law of supply also not operate in case of the rare articles or the rare goods. Any idea what is rare article or rare goods? Anyone? What do you
No,
mean
sir.
by? Okay. Rare article basically means goods which are in limited supply. Rare goods. So rare goods have are basically limited in supply. That's for example, let's talk about a painting. Everyone have most heard about this. Have you ever heard about the painting of the Mona Lisa? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So Mona Lisa is painted by whom? Mona Lisa is painted by Leonardo da Vinci, right? So this is he was the painter of this painting, and Mona Lisa is the there is only one painting of the Mona Lisa. I'm talking about the original painting, right? Okay, let's say the price of the Mona Lisa painting is let's say it is priced at rupees 30 lakh, for example. Now at rupees 30 lakh, if how many paintings that a person can supply you at rupees 30 lakh, how many Mona Lisa paintings can someone sell you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many paintings anyone can sell you? Tell me.
Sir, one.
Only one, because we have only one Mona Lisa painting in the world. So
Yes, sir.
even if you give the seller more price, even if you ask the seller to let's say you are saying that I will pay 40 lakhs and just give me 2 Mona Lisa painting, he won't be able to give you 2 Mona Lisa painting, because this painting is rare. So everything that have a rare supply or the limited supply, the overall when the price of the commodity increases, the supply of the commodity cannot be increased, because the commodity has limited supply in the market. So in case of rare good as well, the law of supply is not applicable. Tell me, Peer, is this clear, Peer and Samiksha?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the third situation wherein the law of supply might fail, it will also fail in case of the agricultural product. So what is agricultural product? Everything produced by the farmer is the agricultural product. Now the supply of the agricultural product largely depends upon the weather condition. Yes or no? Largely depends upon the
Yes, sir.
weather condition in a particular year. Let's say if weather is good, then the farmer will be able to produce higher quantity of the commodity, higher output will be there. And when there is increase, when there is higher yield of the agricultural produce, now when price of the commodity increases, let's suppose price of the commodity goes from 20 to 50 and 50 to 70 and 70 to 90 or 100, supplier will be able to supply more quantity at the increased price. As the price increases, the overall supply will also increase, because the farmer had a good yield, good output. And why he had a good output? Because the overall weather condition was favorable, right? Now the question arises, let's say if there is overall there was a bad weather during a particular year, there was heavy rainfall, or there was no rainfall, due to which there was no crop production, or the overall output is very less. So even so because the overall output is less, can you tell me, even when price of the commodity will increase, whether the seller will be able to supply more quantity at the increased price? Yes or no? Overall supply in the market will increase, yes or no?
Yes.
Because overall supply will increase, since the weather condition was poor, and due to the poor weather condition, the seller is able to produce only let's say he is able to produce less quantity overall. So when price of the commodity will increase, he won't be able to supply more quantity of the commodity now, because the overall yield is less. And
Yes.
even if he is willing to supply more quantity, he won't be able to supply more quantity, because the overall production is not enough. Getting my point? So as the price increases, mostly supply will increase. And in case of agricultural product also, when price increases, supply increase, but this will only happen when the overall weather condition is favorable and the farmer had a good yield, good output. Only then increase in price will lead to the increase in output as well. But if there is poor weather condition, so there is a possibility when the price increases, the seller might not be able to supply more quantity because he had a low output, he had low yield. Getting my point? So there is a possibility that in case of agricultural product, law of supply might fail. Samiksha, Peer, Hamad, is this clear all of you? Steve?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Now, expectation of change in price. Expectation of change in price is also one of the factor that can affect the overall supply in the market. How expectation can affect the, how expectation can be the exception of law of supply? Anyone can explain this? Expectation of the seller. Expectation of seller. Let's suppose this is a seller and currently he's selling a particular commodity at rupees 25, and at rupees 25 he's selling 5,000 units of the commodity. All right, now tell me, when price increases to 27 rupees, whether he will be willing to sell more quantity, yes or no? According
Yes,
to law
sir.
of supply, when price increases, supply will also
Increase.
increase. But what happens is someone told the seller that price may increase further. So now seller is expecting that price may increase in future, and someone told him that price may go up to 40 rupees per kg, for example. So now he is expecting that price will increase to 40, and price is only right now price is only at 27, because he is expecting the price to increase till 40 rupees. Tell me now, when the price will increase from 25 to 27, whether he will be willing to sell more quantity at this price, or he will wait till the price reaches 40.
He will wait till it
He-
reaches 40.
Correct. So this is where the law of supply is failing. Law of supply says that when price increases, the supply should increase, but supply is not willing to sell more quantity even at the increased price. He is only selling 5,000 units. Or in fact, this may also happen that he have reduced his overall supply, that he is saying that he will be supplying more quantity only at the increased price. So when seller is expecting that the price of the commodity may increase in future, he will be willing to supply less quantity even if the prices are increasing right now. All right, everyone. Is this clear, Samiksha and everyone else?
Yes, sir.
Now, vice versa can also happen. Suppose the price of the commodity, instead of increasing, let's say price of the commodity decline. It goes to, let's say 2023. All right. And now what happens generally when price decreases, the overall supply also decreases. That means at rupees 25, if the seller is selling 5,000 units, so at rupees 23, he should be selling less quantity. Let's say he should be selling only 4,000 units at the reduced price, right? But what happens? Someone told him that the prices may decline in future till rupees 12. The price will go down to 12. Now seller is of opinion that if price goes down to 12, he will have to suffer a lot of loss. Therefore, he have decided to sell more quantity when there is decline in the price by 2 rupees only. So at rupees, when prices of the commodity decline from 25 to 23, instead of reducing the quantity to 4,000, he have increased the quantity to the 20,000 units. He is willing to sell 20,000 units at the reduced price. Can you see here that law of supply is failing, Samiksha and everyone else? Price decreasing, law of
Yes, sir.
supply is increasing. That means law of supply is failing. Why it is failing? Because of the expectation of the seller regarding the prices. So if the seller is expecting the increase in price, the overall supply will decrease now. And if seller is expecting that the prices of the commodity is going to decrease, then he will be willing to sell more quantity of the commodity, even if the prices are declining right now. So this could be one of the reason wherein the law of supply might not be applicable. Tell
Yes,
me
sir.
everyone, is everything is clear, all of you? Samiksha and everyone else?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in today's class, till this point, we have discussed the law of supply. Law of supply basically states the relationship between the price and supply of the commodity. And according to law of supply, there exists positive relationship between the price and supply of the commodity. That means when price of the commodity increases, the overall supply of the commodity also increases. And when price declines, the supply will also decrease. But law of supply requires the other factors to remain constant. Other factor like the cost of factor of production, or like the government policy, price of the related goods, and goals and objective of the firm, expectation of the seller, all the factors should remain constant. All right. And after this, we have discussed the reasons of law of supply. I have told you that there are three possible reasons of operation of law of supply. Why? Due to increase in supply, seller is willing to supply more quantity because of the profit motive of the seller. Seller is of opinion that when price increases, the profit margin of the seller also increases. Therefore, when price increases, supplier is willing to sell more quantity because there is a greater prospect of earning higher profit. Similarly, when price declines, the seller is willing to sell less quantity because at the lesser price, he will going to have less profit. And apart from this, a number of firms is one of the factor. Change in the number of firms can also be the reason of law of supply. When price increases, the number of firms operating in the market increases, and eventually more sellers in the market will supply more quantity overall in the market. On the other hand, and there was one more reason that was what was the reason? Yeah, okay. Change in stock is one of the reason why law of supply also operate. Other than this, we have also covered the exceptions of law of supply, wherein I have explained that law of supply does not apply on the perishable goods because perishable goods have low durability. It perishes within a short period of time, and because it can perish within a short period of time, therefore even at the reduced price, sometimes the seller is willing to sell the same quantity or more quantity because of the fear that the goods may perish and he won't be able to sell it to the customer later. Therefore, he will be willing to sell more quantity even if the prices are declining. And also in case of rare article, the law of supply is not applicable. Rare article like anything which have rare supply in the economy, in that case also law of supply is not applicable. And it is not applicable in case of agricultural product because production and supply of the agricultural product largely depends upon the weather condition of the of a particular state or a economy. So when the weather condition is favorable, so the overall yield of the producer will be higher. Therefore, when price will increase, he will be able to sell more quantity. But if the weather condition is unfavorable, then he won't be able to supply more quantity at the higher price because he had the lower yield. And other than this, expectation of the change in prices can also be one of the factor. So we have covered all the reasons and exception of the law of supply. So guys, this is it for economics class today. We will be doing next topic in supply tomorrow. We will be discussing the possibilities of changes in supply, and also possibly we will start the elasticity supply. So this is it for today's class. Ikra, you
Okay, sir.
can leave the session now. We will be taking a break of 5 minutes, then we will continue with our account session.